Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lee here. I'm so sorry I have not posted since my labor and delivery vlogs. Life has just been hectic a little bit, but as you guys can see by the title, I am doing my labor and delivery story time. It's a pretty short one, I guess, so don't have to hear me ramble a lot. So without further ado, let's get into the story. So in my vlog, you guys kind of see me on our way or whatever. So I was actually having contractions, and my friend Keisha was timing them for me when she was on FaceTime, and I really thought I was actually in labor. But we get to the hospital, of course, go through where they have to like check you and everything and all that crap, which I have gone in many times already, and they always send me home. So this particular day, it was kind of like the other day that I went in there, and they like checked if I was having labor contractions and if I was dilated or anything. I was not dilating, which low-key sucks. And then I ended up waiting there, and so the nurse that I particularly I didn't really like that much, she came in and she was like, I mean, your blood pressure is a little bit high, but you're also like in pain, so I think that's like nothing to deal with anything. And I was like, okay. And so she's like, so let me talk with the doctor and see what he wants us to do. And I was like, all right. So I just turned 38 weeks that day. As I told you guys, it was Easter Sunday that day. And so she comes back in like about after like 15-20 minutes, and she's just like, so turns out you have preeclampsia. And I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, nothing to worry about. All there is to do is just like to get rid of it is to have a baby. I was like, okay. She's like, so you're staying? And I was like, cool. So from that point, we ended up I ended up changing all my stuff. I called Dustin and told him that he could bring Bentley up and everything and our stuff up, and we were gonna be put in a room. And so they put me in a gown and everything, and we ended up going into my hospital room. And it was so surreal. I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually about to have a baby soon. And I was just like, wow, I was not prepared for this. And it's so weird. So like, I don't know how a lot of my subscribers are gonna feel about me talking about it, but a lot of it I have to thank God for. A lot of my story that I'm about to tell you. It's so surreal to me, and it's just like crazy. But I remember before she came back, I was praying to God. I was like, please God, like let this be. Not that, you know, everyone should do this. Some people, especially if you're less than full term, hopefully you're wanting to keep your baby in there to bake a little bit longer. But I was in just so much pain with carrying him around, and I remember like just wanting to get him out at this point. Like it was enough. Enough was enough. My body was just like, could not take it anymore. And I was like, please God, like, let something happen for me to have this baby today. Like, I do not want to come back in this hospital. Like, so, and then 15-20 minutes later after I prayed, I ended up staying because I had preeclampsia. I was like, oh my god. Now I had preeclampsia before I prayed, so like my blood pressure was just not going down and just kept getting worse. So yeah, so I basically had preeclampsia before I prayed. So like it could be coincidental, at least at that moment in time. But let's just say I have God to thank for that, that they decided to let me stay. They honestly could have decided to send me home, even with a elevated blood pressure, but they said because it kept rising is why they kept me, and I was 38 weeks, so he was just like, yeah, like there's no point to keep him baking, like you're at that full term reach. We don't want to risk you getting any higher when you're not here and like going to a seizure or anything, so we're gonna have a baby at 38 weeks. So But when I was in the room, I was just like, oh my god, like this is so crazy. Oh, we got to the iffy stuff. So Dustin found out that he could not be there. He couldn't be there for the birth and everything, or part of my labor, because he had to leave at 10 p.m. Every night that we're there with Bentley, and because no one under the age of, I believe, 12 is supposed to be there. And it just sucked a lot, especially because I really didn't want to be in labor alone, which basically ended up happening. Besides my nurses, like my nurses were unbelievable that night. I thank God that I had those nurses. They definitely were trying at first to like make me feel a little bit better. Obviously that didn't work because I just wanted, you know, my boyfriend there. I mainly wanted someone there for support and everything, and just like talking me through, which my nurses did fine with. But like, it's different when you want someone that you've known there, you know what I mean, to like help and like talk to you and like just get your mind off things. Obviously nurses don't know you very well to like, oh, remember this time, and like get you to get your mind off of it, off of the pain and everything. And it just really sucked. So I was there for, we went Sunday. I didn't have my son until Tuesday. So Sunday night, because it was like, I think around like maybe 7 or close to 7 by the time I got in a room. And so Dustin and Bentley were only there for a couple hours, and then they had to leave. So they started giving me blood pressure medication. No, sorry, hold on. Maybe. I don't remember. I think they gave it to me actually the next day when I was starting to vlog. But they gave me a pill to start me going into the labor process. I don't remember what it was called. And they started me that night. And so I remember barely being able to sleep that night. And then they started me on Pitocin after my 4 doses of that pill. And then they started me on Pitocin, and actually, I think they started me on Pitocin like before I had him. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Like, it was like so many hours with the pill that I had to like go through, so I don't remember how many hours. But I remember that day, so Monday, I started to vlog for you guys at the hospital that you guys already saw. And I did my makeup, my hair, which completely was ruined by the time I even went into labor, unfortunately. With Bentley, it was over 21 hours, but I think I did my makeup like maybe in the evening time. I really don't remember with Bentley, but I remember it still looking pretty good when I had Bentley, so I don't know. But I don't remember. I guess for my next kid I need to remember what foundation and stuff I use for Bentley, because that's staying on pretty good. But so then I remember getting the blood pressure medication and having the awesome nurses throughout the day. Dustin and Bentley woke up like I vlogged, and they came, and Dustin was still pretty upset, and then they stayed literally all day, and finally at night they had to leave. I got the epidural, so this is where, yeah, so so I got the epidural, and definitely not what I remembered from Bentley. From Bentley, all I felt was pressure. This time hurt like a bitch. And I think it was because, like, oh my god, it just felt so weird. And like I felt like cracking or whatever. And you know, I don't think my bones were cracking, but like that's just what it felt like. And it was just like thinking back just like freaks me out. So it hurt this time more than I remember with Bentley, but it probably felt the same way with Bentley. And I remember Dustin and Bentley had to leave when I was starting to feel contractions, because they actually started me on Pitocin. So they started me on Pitocin either before or after I got the epidural. And let's just say with the Pitocin with Bentley did not work. Like, it worked super slowly. This time was super fast. So I I remember being dilated like every few centimeters within minutes. And so Dustin and Bentley left around 10 because they have to, and that's when I started feeling more of my contractions, which kind of sucks because that's when I needed someone the most there that knew me or whatever to like talk me through them. And so you would think, oh, well, listen, you got the epidural, like wouldn't it not hurt? So if you guys saw my labor and delivery vlog part 2 and how much pain I was in, even on an epidural, was because with Bentley, he was literally, or his head was so big. So people always talk about how sometimes when you rip like down, like downwards. Well, I ripped up, if you know what I mean. So he ripped that part, and with this, the epidural was not hitting that nerve that Bentley ripped last time. And when I was having contractions, that was the only part that was in excruciating pain. And I was just like, and so we came to a conclusion that that was the reason that I was contracting in just that area, was because then I guess the nerve wasn't like, it didn't fully, not obviously it healed or whatever, but like the epidural like couldn't take to that part because it got severed last time. So I was in a lot of pain because down there wasn't a lot of pain, and I was just like, oh my god. And every contraction, like I just knew when it was about to hit, like it just like, oh my god, I just knew it was gonna hit, because I was just like, oh, like another one's coming, because I just felt it like gradually rising, and to the point where it was just like excruciating, and I was just like, oh my god. So it sucked. So then I remember, oh my god, so like I said, it happened super fast. So around, I want to say maybe 11-ish, don't quote me, maybe 11, 12 o'clock, because I had him around 1, so I want to say it was like close to 11, 12 o'clock. I was at 8 centimeters like all of a sudden, and so they called Dustin, and they thankfully let him be there before I gave birth. And I was just like, I was freaking out. I was like, he is not gonna make it, like I don't think he's gonna make it, like he's coming fast, like I feel him, he's coming really fast. So during this labor, so when Dustin and Bentley left and the nurses like tried everything they could to like do everything for me, this is what I meant by like in the next part of the story, like I think it really was God. But I remember laying there crying in pain because I was like trying so hard not to be in pain, because I was like, I should be in pain, like I had the epidural, but like I was in a lot of pain. And so I remember praying, I'm like, please God, like let this baby come fast again, like let him come fast. And like because I was pushing an hour and a half with Bentley, like it was painful. I didn't feel anything, just pressure, but like my shoulder blades hurt like crazy. And I remember like praying to God, like please let him come fast. And when I tell you guys, after I prayed, that's when the Pitocin started kicking in and was making me dilate so fast, was after I prayed. So call that what you will, but yeah. So, and I did not think Dustin was gonna make it. And yes, he did have Bentley. So Bentley stayed in the stroller when they got there, and yeah, he was in the stroller, so they didn't have to worry about him running around or anything. Oh my god. So before any of that, before they actually left, the doctor had to break my water. And so Bentley and Dustin were still there, and so Dustin like made a little like bed pad in case like Bentley, what he was hoping was Bentley would fall asleep, so they wouldn't have to leave and he could be there for the birth. But obviously that didn't happen, but he still got to come back. So basically he had like a bed thing laid out, and they were watching my iPad over in like the little corner that Dustin set up for Bentley. And the doctor came in to break my water, and I already had the epidural at this point. And instantly when he broke my water, Dustin said Bentley threw up. and Bentley was not looking, so Dustin thinks it was like this like a mental thing that like Bentley somehow felt it somehow, and he instantly threw up. Like the second he broke my water, Bentley just puked everything up, and he was just like, whoa. So Dustin's running around the room trying to get Bentley to, you know, stop throwing up, and he was cleaning him up and everything. That's the other reason why he left. I think he left earlier to clean up Bentley, and I was upset because I didn't want him to go. But so he left to like, because he had to give Bentley a bath and everything because he literally threw up on himself, and he didn't have any extra clothes, so he couldn't like do anything. So, but he was just, it was bad. So thankfully, I was scared for that part, but thankfully I already had the epidural, so like I didn't feel anything, thank God. I felt like I heard like the metal tools going around in there, and that's basically it. So I was like trying to keep my mind off of it, but I was also like terrified that I was gonna feel something, like it poking me or something. Thankfully I did not, and I was like, oh thank God. So thank God I had the epidural, because I would probably freak out with him breaking my water. So, but I didn't feel anything. I felt like I think a gush or something. It just felt weird, but I barely felt anything. So I was like, cool. So yeah, so back to later on. So then Dustin came back, and the nurses told me that he was here. I was like, oh thank God, because I was dilating so freaking fast. So it took it was like 15 minutes for when Dustin got there, that I went through at least like 3-4 contractions until I had him. So I remember I was pushing, and then all of a sudden I was crowning, and they were just like, you can't push yet. I'm like, I need to push, and they're just like, no, we have to wait on the doctor. I was like, okay Dustin, get ready, because I was about to have him catch the baby, because he was right there. I felt him. I was like, I need to push him out now, and they were making me freaking wait. And the thing is, with doctors, they make you wait. With midwives, which is what I had with Bentley, they stay there the whole time. So like, I bet you if I had a midwife this time, I would have had him already. Like I was so mad. I was like, Dustin, like, get ready. And so finally the doctor came, and he's like, oh, he's here. I was like, I need to push now. And he was just like taking his time, put on his gloves. I was like, I need to push. He's like, okay, go for it. And so I just pushed, and he was basically out. And I was just like, it was such a fucking relief. Oh my God. I was just like, finally. And I just like put my head back, my whole body back, and I was like, in so much relief. And then obviously after you deliver the baby, you have to deliver the placenta, and honestly I didn't care once the placenta was out. Like, I also felt another relief. Like, I barely had to push for that either. So I was just like, there's a whole bunch of relief just like left my body. I was like, oh my God, like thank God that is out of me. So I was just so relieved. And then apparently he had a really long umbilical cord, and what else? Let's see. Dustin got to cut the cord and everything, and yeah, so Jameson Justin Black was born April 11th at 1:09. Don't quote me, I'm horrible, I don't remember already. It was at 1 something in the morning, and he weighed 8 pounds 1 ounce, so 11 ounces smaller than his brother. They actually thought he was gonna be a lot bigger. I knew he was gonna be smaller. And he was also born 2 weeks early, just like Bentley, so I found that really funny. And yeah, and he is just like the perfect, so he's perfect, don't get me wrong, he's perfect. He's just not how Bentley was. So Bentley was like the definition of a perfect newborn, like slept all the time. Like, at least the definition of my perfect newborn, like being a mom, completely new at everything. Bentley was literally perfect. Like, he would sleep all the time, he barely freaking cried for anything. Like, the only time he would whine was when, I think it was really when he was hungry, because when he was like, when he had a poopy diaper, like sometimes he would sleep through it. Like sometimes obviously, like if it's a lot, he was just like, no, I need to be changed like now. But like if he pees or like he poops like a little bit, like he did not care. Like he would just sleep all the time. And I was just like, damn. So Jamie though cries a whole lot. Yeah, so we're going through that right now. I'm trying, you know, not sleeping is not fun for me, but I get through it. It is what it is, obviously. But he is still perfect. Bentley loves him. He loves being a big brother. It's honestly so freaking cute. He just loves looking at him, loves kissing on him, loves trying to hold him and hug him, and it's just like the cutest freaking thing I could ever ask for. So my boys love each other, or Bentley loves him, and I could not be more happy with them. So yes, so that is my labor and delivery story time. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll probably show you guys, because he's sleeping right now, but I'll probably show you guys another video, because I plan on doing another video of 24 full hours with a newborn, so that should be fun. But so y'all will see him soon, I promise, just not in this video. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video, which I'll be looking the exact same, because I have another story time for you guys. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.